हाँ प्रांजल।
हाय।
हाँ
हाँ
हाँ।
ठीक है।
ठीक है
एकदम
तो
आवाज आ रहा है ना?
आवाज आ
एकदम
रहा है
एकदम
एकदम
बढ़िया।
पूरा किशोर कुमार जैसा आवाज आ रहा है तुम्हारा।
आइश, क्या बात है, क्या
क्या
बात है।
बात, क्या बात है।
बढ़िया बढ़िया, थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक
ठीक है चलो।
यू। ओके।
ओके। बाय।
Nilesh ji, good afternoon.
हाँ गुड आफ्टरनून फ्रेंड के
निलेश जी बहुत डिस्टर्बेंस आ रही है.
हाँ
काफी नॉइस हो रहा है.
इसके नीचे करना
One minute. Yeah, Mr. Nilesh ji, yeah, please check your sound. It is disturbing in the echo, please.
अच्छा अच्छा
Yes, sir.
क्या हो गया आगे साइड
You have lock simultaneously from the two devices. It may be. Please check.
अच्छा अच्छा
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
हाँ ये तो अभी मैंने नहीं किया ना मैं तो
वो
इसको लेटे
इसको
ऑफ कर दिया
नहीं मैंने एग्जिट कर दिया
हाँ अब ठीक है अब नहीं आएगा आपको अब से
क्योंकि दो डिवाइस मतलब नियरेस्ट रहने से ना
नहीं
वो
आपका
echo
ये
होता है
चल
इसलिए. ठीक
इसको
है.
एग्जिट कर दो आप।
हाँ हाँ ओके.
हाँ ये एग्जिट कर दो
ये शो ही नहीं कर रहा यस मतलब ये डिवाइस रजिस्ट्रेशन है ना उसी के लिए होगा सर मेरा फोटो मतलब मैं इधर में पीछे भी नहीं है नहीं रिकॉर्डिंग जैसे हो गया ना
हाँ
वो प्रांजल वही है हाँ अब आवाज ठीक है हेलो ये ऑफ कर देता हूँ
Am I audible, Pranjal? Hello,
Yes, sir. You are very much audible, sir.
am I audible? Fine.
Yeah, yes, sir.
मिस्टर नीलेश, आप अपना वीडियो शायद आपने पॉज कर रखा होगा, आप उसको अनपॉज कर देंगे जरा। आपने शायद म्यूट किया होगा शायद। Mr. Debarbrata, we can remove the banner by 3. So I think
Yeah.
once
So
we open with the video, so everybody can see each other, right?
I am just stopping this share. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Panelists are requested kindly check your audios and videos, please. Panelists are requested kindly check your audios and videos, please.
Debu, can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good afternoon, Mr. Panegahi. Sir, am I audible to you?
हाँ, ये फुल स्क्रीन ये स्टार्ट वीडियो। हाँ, अब आए। इसको फुल स्क्रीन यहाँ से हाँ अब
Yeah, very good afternoon, Nilesh ji. Yeah, you are very much visible now.
Yes,
we
yes.
check Can we check your audio once?
yes. Hello, I am audible to you.
Yes, very much you are audible to you.
Okay. ये लाइट ये वाला पीछे वाला बंद हो जाएगा तो ये पीछे का जो है ना हाँ और ये वाला ऑन कर दीजिए। ये ऑन है नहीं कोई बात
Mr. Very good afternoon, Mr. Panigrahi. Is it audible to you?
हाँ ठीक है सर आप प्लीज
Mr. Panigrahi, can you just unmute your video so we can see you, sir? Mr. Panigrahi, आपको voice audible नहीं हो रहा है. Is it possible? Can you just introduce yourself so we can quickly test and start the proceedings?
आपका ये कर देता हूँ मेरा
I think Mr. Panigrahi is not hearing us.
Mr. Panigrahi, can you hear us? Is it audible to you? Sir, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है, sir.
OnePlus आएगा. OnePlus. हाँ.
Mr. Panigari, kindly check your audio's jack or connectivity, please, because we are not able to just hear your sound, please.
नीलेश जी, एक छोटा सा एक अपडेशन है जो प्रोग्राम एजेंडा का जो फ्लो है. नीलेश जी, आर यू देयर?
हाँ जी. यस.
हाँ जी नीलेश जी, एक छोटा सा अपडेशन है. जो हमारे जो वेलकम एड्रेस हमारे असम स्टेट काउंसिल के जो चेयरपर्सन हैं, मिस्टर SK जैन, he was supposed to join, but वो नहीं कर पाएंगे because आज शिलोंग में जो ताज विवांता का जो इनॉग्रेशन हुआ था, he is basically one of the he's owning this hotel, so during this inaugural he had to go there. तो इसलिए वो आज तो विवांता जो हमारे जो चेयरपर्सन हैं उनके हैं, तो आज उसी इनॉग्रेशन पे गए हैं, CM इनॉग्रेशन पे, तो इसलिए वो ज्वाइन नहीं कर पाएंगे. तो he had extended his degree.
Okay.
And let's see if Panigrahi ji can hear us, so we can quickly start without delaying it. And we also have our Deputy Director from Indian Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Pranam Majumdar, who has joined today to extend a welcome address during the ZED conference.
Nilesh ji, good afternoon. I think Mr. Nilesh ji also has some technical issues.
नीलेश जी, आपको आवाज आ रही है हमारी?
नहीं, वो अभी है ही नहीं. He is not there. I think he will be rejoining. He's not.
Okay.
Hello.
Mr. Panigrahi, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. I'm there, sir.
Panigrahi, sir, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. I able to hear you.
Sir, आपका वीडियो भी जरा दिखा देते तो अच्छा था. We could test.
Sure. Yes.
Thank you so much, Panigrahi. So,
thank you, sir.
Is it audible to you?
Yes. It's audible, sir.
Thank you. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nilesh ji has still not joined.
Yeah, he's trying to join in again from a different device. So once he joined, we'll immediately start. And I would also like to welcome all the delegates, attendees who have joined. Kindly bear with us. Give us just couple of minutes of time so we can immediately start once one of the panelists, Mr. Nilesh Trivedi, will join, will initiate the entire webinar. Thank you so much. Nilesh ji, we can see you. आप अभी join किया है आपने as a panelist. Can you unmute your audio and video, please, so we can.
Okay.
Yeah, you are visible. Yes.
Okay, so we can start.
Yes. Yeah. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pranjal Barua from Indian Chamber of Commerce from the Northeast region. I welcome all of you on behalf of Indian Chamber of Commerce and Ministry of MSME for today's virtual awareness program, which is on ZED certification scheme for all the MSMEs. And basically to about ZED scheme, we have a panelist. Begin with, we have, I would like to welcome our Deputy Director, Mr. Pranam Majumdar from Indian Chamber of Commerce. I welcome Mr. Nilesh Trivedi. He's the Assistant Director, Branch MSME DO, Tura, Government of India, Ministry of MSME. Thank you so much, Mr. Trivedi, for joining us. I welcome Mr. S.N. Panigrahi. He's a ZED consultant, MSME from India.
Namaskar,
we welcome you, Mr. Panigrahi, sir.
Sir, namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir. To start with, I would like to request Mr. Pranam Majumdar, Deputy Director from Indian Chamber of Commerce, to kindly extend the welcome address. Over to you, Mr. Pranam Majumdar.
Thank you, Pranjal. Very good afternoon to the eminent panelists and delegates who have joined us in this virtual session on ZED awareness, zero effect, zero defect, a unique concept conceived by Government of India and which is quite a novel concept and also a new concept As far as I know, I think you are also aware that in the year 2014, the 68th Independence Day, the Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, announced that in the manufacturing sector for the industries, especially the micro, small and medium industries, a kind of, manufacturing should practice something called zero defects, a production which has got zero defects so that our exported products are not returned to us, and also to ensure that the goods which are produced in this country have a zero effect on the environment, because this country is very much really dependent on the environment of the region. So according to that, today we are here to host, Indian Chamber of Commerce is here to host this awareness campaign, which is quite a noble thing. And we thank Ministry of MSME for this effort. And I would like to welcome our eminent panelists, Nilesh Trivedi ji, Mr. S. and Panigrahi ji, ZED Consultant MSME India, for being here. And I'm sure we'll be enlightened with your inputs which we give to. This is quite a new topic for, I think, not only for India, especially for Northeast India. Northeast India is a place where MSMEs really have a huge share in the entire. Specifically, more of them, like MSMEs, are here. So this is a very important thing. ZED, zero effect, zero defect, exactly what it is, how it is going to help the industries. This is something our industries in the Northeast India should really be aware about it, because it is not just a word. There are certain technicalities about it. And the ministry has also, devised certain strategic technicalities regarding this word. So I'm sure today we will be having a very positive input regarding that from the eminent panelists. So I would, with this, I would like to welcome again the panelists and the delegates, and I'm sure that today's initiative would really benefit the MSMEs here. I would really request the MSMEs to be a part of this effort. So I again welcome the panelists. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pranav Majumdar, for extending your welcome address. Thank you so much. Now, may I request Mr. Nilesh Trivedi, Assistant Director from Branch MSME DO, Tura, Government of India, Ministry of MSME, to kindly extend your address and your presentation. We are sure your presentation will give us a very detailed idea about this ZED scheme. So without delaying it to you, we would like to hand over this the session over to you.
Thank you, Barwaji, and thank you to Indian Chamber of Commerce for associating. We are organizing along with you for any reason the most important topic, ZED certification scheme. Can I have my presentation? Please share my presentation. The ZED certification scheme is the ZED certification.
Mr. Devarapata, can we have the presentation on screen?
Okay, I'm just sharing. Okay.
No problem.
तो presentation start हो उसके मैं पहले बताता हूँ कि ZED certification scheme basically it is a Indian quality mark. अभी तक हम लोग ISO जो इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड्स की उसको फॉलो करते हैं, तो वो भी फॉलो कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हम ये इंडिया का जो क्वालिटी मार्का है वो ZED है. और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ MSME ने ZED सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए काफी अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स, हैंड होल्डिंग सपोर्ट्स, कंसल्टेंसी और ये कई वर्क हम लोग करेंगे ताकि MSMEs जो हैं वो ZED सर्टिफाइड हों और उसके बाद ये ग्लोबल चैंपियंस बने. बिकॉज ZED सर्टिफिकेशन बेसिकली एक स्टैंडर्ड्स है, सेट ऑफ स्टैंडर्ड्स है, और उस स्टैंडर्ड से काफी MSMEs अपना जो है जिसको बनना चाहिए कि क्वालिटी अपग्रेड कर सकते हैं, प्रोडक्शन एनहांस हो जाएगा इससे, साथ में वेस्टेज मिनिमाइज होगा नेचुरल प्रोडक्ट्स जो रिसोर्सेस है उसका ऑप्टिमल यूज होगा, और ये इसके प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी इंक्रीज करेगा और मार्केट डिमांड्स को इंक्रीज करेगा। तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है हमारे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एमएसएमईज के लिए। गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने फर्स्ट फेज में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एमएसएमईज को सिलेक्ट किया है, और लेटर सेकंड फेज में सर्विस एंटरप्राइज भी इसमें इंक्लूड होंगे। मिस्टर बरुआ, आई एम ऑडिबल, प्लीज कंफर्म।
Yes, absolutely clear. We are just in the process of uploading the presentation, so we'll start very shortly.
Yes. So welcome to all my participants and my MSME entrepreneurs all over from Northeast regions. Next, please. This is the manufacturing strength of India. We are number one in tractor, two-wheeler, three-wheeler manufacturing in world, and number two in bus manufacturing. And as you all know that we are largest vaccine producer in the world and supplies around 62% of global demands of vaccine. And we are third largest in manufacturing of generics, and second largest manufacturers of textile and clothing in the world, and second largest steel producer in the world among the leaders in certain grades of certain steels. So India emerges second most attractive manufacturing hub globally. Various products in which India are predominant, like furniture, tools, fittings, hardware item, footwear, home appliances, kitchenware, home decor, garments, leather, handicraft, textile, glasswares, fashion accessories, mechanical parts, and components. Next, please. This is the MSME sector. MSME sector contribute to GDP is around 30 to 31%. Out of this, only 6.1% is contributed by manufacturing sector, remaining from trade and service sector. And the total manufacturing output from MSME is around 35%, and total export from MSME is 48%. Around 6.34 MSME units are working at present, but unfortunately only 15 to 16% are registered. So we have to register MSME more and more. We have to concentrate on this important point, because if you want any government benefit, whether state government benefit or central government benefit, you have to be registered with Udyam registration. MSMEs is the second employment generator of the agriculture. That is, we are employing around 11.75 crores of around 40% of workforce. And most important thing, this MSMEs micro, around 94% units are come under micro enterprises. This is the most important thing. Next, please. And as per, before we go to ZED scheme, we should know who is MSME. The MSME has been classified on the basis of turnover and investment. And the definition is given by notification dated 26th of June 2020, and it is effective from 1st July 2020. Any enterprise who rendered services or producing good manufactured products, if investment in machine is 1 crore and turnover is up to 5 crore, it is micro enterprise. If investment between 1 crore to 10 crore and turnover is up to 50 crores, it is a small enterprise. And if investment between 10 to 50 crore in machines and turnover is up to 250 crore, then it is termed as medium sector. And as I have earlier said, that around 94 to 95% units comes under micro enterprise category. Next, please. And I am requesting all MSME must register to our Udyam registration portal, that is udyamregistration.gov.in. It is free of cost portal. इसमें आपको 1 रुपया 1 पैसा किसी को नहीं देना है और आपने अपना रजिस्ट्रेशन कर लेना है. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. जेड स्कीम जो आज हमारा है, जीरो डिफेक्ट जीरो इफेक्ट, मींस आप क्वालिटी प्रोडक्शन करें लेकिन उसका एनवायरनमेंट पे कोई इफेक्ट ना आए, तो जीरो डिफेक्ट जीरो इफेक्ट से मिलकर जेड स्कीम बना है. इसको जो हमारे जो जेड पैरामीटर्स को यदि आप फॉलो करेंगे और इस सर्टिफिकेट को लेंगे, तो व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स? इट रिड्यूसेस वेस्टेज ऑफ योर यूनिट. It increases productivity, enhance environmental consciousness, save energy, optimal use of natural resources, expand their markets. And important thing, MSME will be motivated to adopt best practices in work culture and preparation of SOP. It means हमारे यहाँ पर MSME जब हम किसी प्लेस पर इंस्पेक्शन करने जाते हैं तो देखते हैं कि रॉ मटेरियल और फिनिश प्रोडक्ट्स जो हैं ठीक से रखे हुए नहीं है, इक्विपमेंट का टाइमली कैलिब्रेशन नहीं हुआ है, मेंटेनेंस नहीं हुआ है, या फिर जो है क्लीनिंग नहीं है, बहुत सारा सामान किसी एक प्लेस पे रखा हुआ है। तो इन सबको हमको ऑर्गेनाइज करना है तो हमें कुछ सिस्टम्स, कुछ स्टैंडर्ड्स और कुछ एसओपीज को फॉलो करना होगा, तभी हम जो है इस जेड स्कीम का ऑब्जेक्टिव को फुलफिल कर पाएंगे। एंड सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है कि इसमें जो हमारा जो ये स्कीम है ये मार्च 2026 तक वैलिड रहेगा। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। यदि जेड रजिस्ट्रेशन हम अभी तक देखें तो अराउंड 16,255 MSMEs आर रजिस्टर्ड ऑन जेड पोर्टल and around same figure 16,255 MSMEs have taken pledge. 332 units are bronze certified, 4 units are silver certified, and so far Government of India Ministry of MSME has given financial support of ₹1 crore. तो ये अभी इस स्कीम नेसेंट स्टेज में है। हम चाहते हैं कि आप अधिक से अधिक इस स्कीम में रजिस्टर्ड हुए और गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ MSME के बेनिफिट लेकर अपने आप को ग्लोबल चैंपियंस बनाएं। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। जेड कंपोनेंट्स, इसमें हम लोग क्या क्या कर रहे हैं? सबसे पहला इंडस्ट्री अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम्स एंड वर्कशॉप्स, ये जो उसी का एक पार्ट है। फिर हम जो है MSME डेवलपमेंट फैसिलिटेशन ऑफिस जो है उनके ऑफिसर्स, कंसल्टेंट्स और असेसर्स के लिए ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम का फेज रहेगा। देन असेसमेंट एंड सर्टिफिकेशन ऑफ MSMEs, MSME को असेसमेंट किया जाएगा ऑन रिमोट बेसिस एंड ऑन साइट बेसिस। हैंड होल्डिंग्स, ताकि उनको जो है बेनिफिट्स मिले, इंसेंटिव्स मिले। पब्लिक रिलेशन कैंपेन्स, एडवर्टाइजिंग एंड ब्रांड प्रमोशंस करेंगे। इसके अलावा फ्यूचर में हमारा एक डिजिटल MSME स्कीम भी आ रहा है, तो वो भी जेड सर्टिफाइड यूनिट के लिए वो एडवांटेजेस रहेगा। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। यदि किसी को जेड लेना है तो 20 पैरामीटर्स को फॉलो करना पड़ेगा, और 20 पैरामीटर्स में हो सकता है बहुत सारे MSMEs के पास क्वालिटी सिस्टम हो, दैट इज ISO 9000 हो, वर्क प्लेस सेफ्टी सिस्टम हो, दैट इज ISO 45001 हो, या फिर उनके पास लीन एडवांस जो लीन सर्टिफिकेशन से वर्क मैनेजमेंट का वो भी होगा, या प्लांट मेंटेनेंस कैलिब्रेशन वो कर रहे होंगे। ठीक है, तो इसमें 1 to 5 यदि पैरामीटर आप फुलफिल करते हैं देन यू आर एलिजिबल फॉर ब्रॉन्ज कैटेगरी जेड सर्टिफिकेशन। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। और नेक्स्ट ये जो 12 to 20 के है, इसमें आप देखिए एनर्जी मैनेजमेंट ISO 50001, एनवायरमेंट मैनेजमेंट ISO 14001, और जो ऑक्यूपेशनल सेफ्टी या वर्कप्लेस सेफ्टी का मैंने जो बताया था उसका ISO 45001 है। सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट इससे इंप्रूव होगा। रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, मूरी जो कि एक लीन का ही कॉन्सेप्ट है, उसी को हम प्रमोट करेंगे। और टेक्नोलॉजी सिलेक्शन और अपग्रेडेशन होगा। CSR का भी आप इसमें वर्क कर सकते हैं। तो ये यदि आपने 3 लेवल होते हैं, ब्रॉन्ज, सिल्वर और गोल्ड, यदि तीनों लेवल आपने क्रॉस किए तो आपको जेड सर्टिफिकेशन मिल जाता है। यदि आपने ब्रॉन्ज किया तो आपको ब्रॉन्ज सर्टिफिकेशन मिलेगा, यदि आपने सिल्वर किया तो आपको सिल्वर सर्टिफिकेशन मिलेगा। नेक्स्ट। इसमें आपको जो फ्लो चार्ट है कि आपको जेड सर्टिफाइड बनना कैसे है, तो एक जो हमारा गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का जो वेबसाइट है जेड पोर्टल है, उस पर ही आपको ये अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा। एक रजिस्ट्रेशन होगा जिसमें आपका ईमेल, आपका मोबाइल और आपका उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन से आपका रजिस्ट्रेशन हो जाएगा। फिर एक प्लेज लेना पड़ेगी आपको, वो प्लेज भी ऑनलाइन डिस्प्ले हो जाएगी। इसके लेते से ही आपको एक MSME कवच इंसेंटिव, जिसको बोलते हैं नॉलेज एक्विजिशन थ्रू वॉश फॉर एन एक्सीलरेटेड COVID-19 हैंडलिंग, which is based on the WASH, that is workplace assessment for safety and hygiene। मतलब COVID-19 जो पैंडेमिक आया था उसमें बहुत सारा जो वर्कप्लेस को इम्पोर्टेंस दिया गया था, तो उससे रिलेटेड पैरामीटर्स और गाइडलाइंस उसमें मेंशन है। तो जेड प्लेज लेते से ही आपको फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट मिल जाएगा। फिर आप अप्लाई कर सकते हैं ब्रॉन्ज के लिए, सिल्वर के लिए और गोल्ड के लिए। और जेड का एलिजिबिलिटी है, ऑल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग MSMEs आर एलिजिबल टू अप्लाई जेड रजिस्ट्रेशन। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। इसका जो इम्प्लीमेंटेशन स्कीम का कौन कर रहा है? MSME डेवलपमेंट एंड फैसिलिटेशन ऑफिसेस जो कि अक्रॉस द स्टेट्स में है, टेक्नोलॉजी सेंटर्स हैं, टेस्टिंग सेंटर्स हैं, निम्स में है जो कि MSME का ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, क्वालिटी काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया है, नेशनल प्रोडक्टिविटी काउंसिल है, ब्यूरो ऑफ इंडियन स्टैंडर्ड है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट्स के डिपार्टमेंट्स भी हैं, मिनिस्ट्रीज भी है, इंडस्ट्री एसोसिएशन, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट इंडस्ट्री एसोसिएशन भी इसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में हेल्प करेगा। नेक्स्ट, इसका जो असेसमेंट होता है इसमें 3 लेवल से, जैसे मैंने बताया ब्रॉन्ज, सिल्वर एंड गोल्ड। तो जो सर्टिफिकेशन लेवल 1 होता है तो उन्हें हम जो है इनको 10,000 रुपीज का जो है एक्सपेंडिचर आता है कॉस्ट ऑफ सर्टिफिकेशन। सिल्वर सर्टिफिकेशन में 40,000 का आता है और गोल्ड सर्टिफिकेशन में 90,000 का कॉस्ट आता है। नेक्स्ट, इसमें हम सब्सिडी देते हैं। सब्सिडी जो है सबसे ज्यादा माइक्रो एंटरप्राइज, दैट इज जो कि सबसे प्रिडोमिनेंट है, सबसे बड़ा सेक्टर वही है। तो अराउंड 80% सब्सिडी जो है माइक्रो एंटरप्राइज को रहती है इसमें, स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज को 60% सब्सिडी रहती है और मीडियम एंटरप्राइज इज गिवन 50% सब्सिडी। नेक्स्ट, अच्छा, इसमें एक एडिशनल सब्सिडी है फॉर द MSMEs लोकेटेड इन NER। तो यहाँ हमारे NER, चाहे असम हो, अरुणाचल हो, मेघालय हो, त्रिपुरा हो, मिजोरम हो, सभी दूर जो NER के स्टेट से, उसके लिए 10% एक्स्ट्रा सब्सिडी है। तो टोटल सब्सिडी यदि माइक्रो एंटरप्राइज के लिए काउंट करें तो 90% हो जाएगा। और इसके अलावा हमारे जो MSc CDP जो क्लस्टर्स हैं या स्फूर्ति के जो क्लस्टर्स है उनके लिए 5% एडिशनल सब्सिडी है। तो यदि कोई माइक्रो एंटरप्राइज स्फूर्ति या CDP का NER में फंक्शनिंग कर रहा है तो उसको 95% सब्सिडी विल बी गिवन बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ MSME। नेक्स्ट, तो जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, प्लेज लेना पड़ेगा, आपको एक अंडरटेकिंग देना पड़ेगा कि हाँ साहब ये कंप्लायंसेस जो हैं हम फुलफिल करते हैं। फिर आपको डॉक्यूमेंट ऑनलाइन अपलोड करने पड़ेंगे, वेरिफिकेशन करना पड़ेगा और उसके बाद आपको रिकमेंडेशन होके सर्टिफिकेट ग्रांट हो जाएगा। जैसे ही तो ये जो पैरामीटर्स हैं ब्राउन सर्टिफिकेशन के, इसमें लीडरशिप है, स्वच्छ वर्क प्लेस है, ऑक्यूपेशनल सेफ्टी। यदि आपके पास ISO 45001 है और ISO 9001 है तो आप ये 2 पैरामीटर्स आपको ऑलरेडी अवेल हो चुके हैं। तो फिर आपको केवल लीडरशिप, स्वच्छ वर्क प्लेस और मेजरमेंट ऑफ टाइमली डिलीवरी, इसको लेके आपको डिक्लेयर करना पड़ेगा और आपको ये ब्रॉन्ज सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाएगा। नेक्स्ट, इसमें आपको कुछ फोटोज जो प्रोडक्ट्स हैं या शॉप फ्लोर, लेबल्स, फायर सेफ्टी सिस्टम, उसकी फोटोग्राफ अपलोड करना है, एक डिक्लेरेशन करना पड़ेगा, वो ऑनलाइन है। और वैलिडिटी जो इस सर्टिफिकेट की होगी वो 3 इयर्स की होगी और 3 इयर्स के बाद आपको रिन्यूअल के लिए अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा और इंसेंटिव जो भी अवेलेबल होंगे वो आपको इसमें मिलेंगे। नेक्स्ट, इसमें एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आप आपके यहाँ पर किसी प्रोडक्ट का टेस्टिंग करवाते हैं या कोई मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स लेते हैं, जैसे ISO 45001, 9001, 50001 या कोई प्रोडक्ट सर्टिफिकेशन लेते हैं। तो यदि आपने कोई टेस्टिंग करवाया है तो टेस्टिंग जो NABL एक्रेडिटेड लैब से करवाया है या फिर कोई मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम जो एक्सपेंडिचर किया है, मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम ISO 9000, 45000, 50001 या 14001 जो कि एनवायरमेंट मैनेजमेंट का होता है, तो उस, या फिर आपने कोई प्रोडक्ट सर्टिफाई किया है BIS से, तो उसके लिए 75% तक का जो रीइंबर्समेंट है, मैक्सिमम लिमिट 50,000 है, वो हम लोग रीइंबर्स करते हैं। तो ये एक अच्छा है कि आपके लिए इस प्रकार के चाहे टेस्टिंग हो या मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम्स हो या प्रोडक्ट सर्टिफिकेशन हो, इसके लिए आपको जो है हम रीइंबर्स करते हैं 75% अमाउंट, मैक्स ₹50,000। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। सिल्वर में भी सेम जो पैरामीटर्स 1 to 5 ब्रॉन्ज के लगते हैं वो ही सेम टू सेम लगते हैं। उसके बाद नेक्स्ट जो और पैरामीटर्स है वो भी सिल्वर में आते हैं। इसमें भी 3 इयर्स का वैलिडिटी रहता है, 3 इयर्स के बाद आपको रिन्यूअल करना पड़ता है। और जैसा जो मेथड मैंने ब्रॉन्ज के लिए बताया, सेम मेथड इज अडॉप्टेड फॉर सिल्वर। नेक्स्ट प्लीज। सिल्वर में जो पैरामीटर्स एक्स्ट्रा आते हैं, एक तो ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट आता है, डेली वर्क मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम आता है जो कि MS लीन का एडवांस सर्टिफिकेशन से रिलेटेड है, प्लांट मेंटेनेंस एंड कैलिब्रेशन, प्रोसेस कंट्रोल, प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी एंड सर्टिफिकेशंस, मटेरियल मैनेजमेंट, एनर्जी मैनेजमेंट ISO 15001 एंड एनवायरमेंट मैनेजमेंट ISO 14001। and measurement and analysis. These are the parameters of silver. Next please. ये पैरामीटर्स के बारे में मैं पाणिग्राही सर से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि थोड़ा सा कि वो कैसे जो है इस पैरामीटर्स को ऑब्टेन करे फॉर गेटिंग जेड सर्टिफिकेशन.
Sure.
हाँ, फिर दैट जो थर्ड सर्टिफिकेशन लेवल इज गोल्ड है. ये गोल्ड सबसे हाईएस्ट लेवल का सर्टिफिकेशन होता है और इसमें जो है आपको सेम पैरामीटर्स 20 पैरामीटर्स फुलफिल होने पड़ते हैं और इसमें एक सर्विलेंस सिस्टम असेसमेंट भी होता है जो कि सिल्वर और गोल्ड लेवल्स के लिए होता है. वो रिमोट बेसिस पे असेसमेंट होता है और उसमें जो कॉस्ट इन्वॉल्व होता है वो भी जेड के लिए जो सिल्वर लेवल है उसके लिए 10,000 एंड जेड गोल्ड लेवल 20,000. And same, the MSMEs will be given financial assistance or subsidy to the tune of 80, 60, and 50 for micro, small, and medium enterprise. It means we are giving more amount to micro enterprise. Next, please. ये जो एडिशनल पैरामीटर्स हैं, इट इज सप्लाई चेन मैनेजमेंट, रिस्क मैनेजमेंट, बेस्ट मैनेजमेंट, टेक्नोलॉजी सिलेक्शन, नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज कंजर्वेशन. ये सब जेड के जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है उसको फुलफिल करना है. बेसिकली आपने अपनी यूनिट को एक ग्लोबल स्टैंडर्ड की यूनिट बनाना है जिसमें आपका वर्क प्लेस, आपके टेस्टिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स, आपके क्वालिटी सर्टिफिकेशंस, आपका टाइम मैनेजमेंट, इसके अलावा डिलीवरी. इट मींस एक स्टैंडर्ड यूनिट जैसा आपको कन्वर्ट करना पड़ेगा. नेक्स्ट. हाँ, एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है कि एमएसएमईज कहेंगे कि त्रिवेदी साहब आपने बहुत कुछ बता दिया कि साहब इसमें ब्रॉन्ज के लेने के लिए ऐसा ये करना पड़ेगा, सिल्वर के लिए ये पैरामीटर है, गोल्ड के लिए ये पैरामीटर्स हैं, टोटल 20 पैरामीटर्स हैं. पर ये सब होगा कैसे? एमएसएमई तो वन मैन आर्मी होता है. वो वन मैन आर्मी अपना मार्केटिंग देखे, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग देखे, क्वालिटी देखे, कस्टमर के साथ इंटरेक्शन करे, गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स और पॉलिसीज को देखे कि ये जेड स्कीम्स को अडॉप्ट करे. तो इसके लिए एक बहुत अच्छा मैकेनिज्म गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एमएसएमई हैज डिवाइस्ड, दैट हैंड होल्डिंग थ्रू कंसल्टेंसी. तो इसके लिए हम लोगों ने टोटल जो है 5 लाख रुपीस का प्रोविजन रखा है. आउट ऑफ 5 लाख 2 लाख रुपीस फॉर जो है कंसल्टेशन के लिए है. तो जो टेक कंसल्टेंट रहेंगे, जेड कंसल्टेंट एक्सपर्ट्स रहेंगे, वो आपकी यूनिट को पूरी तरह से गाइड करेंगे ताकि आप आपकी यूनिट को जेड पैरामीटर्स को कंप्लाई करते हुए जेड सर्टिफिकेशन आपको मिले. और एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, आउट ऑफ 5 लाख में से जो 3 लाख है वो आप टेक्नोलॉजी अपग्रेडेशन के लिए यूज कर सकते हैं ताकि आप जीरो इफेक्ट सॉल्यूशंस, दैट इज पोल्यूशन कंट्रोल मेजर्स या क्लीनर टेक्नोलॉजी, इसको लेने के लिए आपको कुछ इक्विपमेंट परचेस करने पड़ सकते हैं. तो ये 3 लाख से आप ये कर सकते हैं. तो ये एक इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज है कि अराउंड फ्रॉम अपार्ट फ्रॉम सब्सिडीज ऑन सर्टिफिकेशन, मैनेजमेंट, स्टैंडर्ड्स, ये जो है 5 लाख का हैंड होल्डिंग कंसल्टेंसी आपको मिलेगा. और हैंड होल्डिंग के साथ साथ आपको इक्विपमेंट का प्रोक्योरमेंट के लिए भी फंडिंग मिलेगा. नेक्स्ट. और हम लोग खुद इसका नेशनल वाइड पब्लिसिटी करेंगे जेड सर्टिफिकेशन का, ताकि जेड एक अलग ही मार्का लोग अपने यूनिट पर, अपने लेटर हेड पर लगाएं कि वी आर जेड सर्टिफाइड यूनिट. तो जेड सर्टिफिकेशन से रहेगा कि साहब इस यूनिट में क्वालिटी स्टैंडर्ड फॉलो होते हैं, क्वालिटी पैरामीटर्स फॉलो होते हैं, लीन सिस्टम फॉलो होता है और साथ में स्टैंडर्ड्स और एसओपीज है. नेक्स्ट. इसके लिए एक पीमैक जो सेंट्रल लेवल पर बनी हुई है, ऑफिस ऑफ द डीसी एमएसएमई, जो एएस एंड डीसी एमएसएमई उसके जो हैं चेयरमैन हैं, प्रोजेक्ट मॉनिटरिंग एंड एडवाइजरिंग कमेटी पीमैक. और इसमें अदर जो मेंबर्स हैं वो एसोसिएशंस रहते हैं, इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स रहते हैं, गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशंस के मेंबर्स रहते हैं और हमारे एमएसएमई डीएफओ के ऑफिसर्स रहते हैं. नेक्स्ट. नेक्स्ट प्लीज. ये इसको आप फॉरवर्ड कर दीजिए क्योंकि ये जो है ये थोड़ा पाणिग्राही जी बता देंगे, क्योंकि मुझे बरुआ जी ने कहा था कि साहब आप थोड़ा सा जेड स्कीम के अलावा अदर एमएसएमई स्कीम्स पे भी जरूर फोकस करना. तो जितना मेरे पास टाइम है उस हिसाब से मैं उसका यूटिलाइज करना चाहता हूँ. नेक्स्ट प्लीज.
नीलेश जी, कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं मेरे ख्याल से। एक क्वेश्चन है वो आप अभी देना प्रेफर
हाँ
करेंगे या शैल
हाँ,
वी
एक
डिस्कस
क्वेश्चन
एट
तो
द
ले
टाइम ऑफ
सकते हैं,
इंटरैक्टिव?
एक क्वेश्चन ले
ओके
सकते हैं बाद में। हाँ नेक्स्ट।
okay,
हाँ
there is a question from Mr. Gaurav Pandey.
हम्म
He is asking, in the absence of ISO certification 9001, 14001, 45001, 50001, what are the specific requirement Indian standards?
नहीं, इसमें जो है यदि आपके पास ये सर्टिफिकेशन यदि हैं तो आपको ये सर्टिफिकेशन लेने की फिर से अप्लाई करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी। अदरवाइज इसके जो पैरामीटर्स हैं, चाहे ISO 9000 हो, 14000 हो, 45000 हो या 50001 हो, उसके पैरामीटर्स को आपकी यूनिट के हिसाब से आपको फॉलो करने पड़ेंगे। तो कंसल्टेंट्स की हेल्प से आप ये कर सकते हैं।
Yeah, we done. You can read.
नेक्स्ट प्लीज। हाँ, अब जेड स्कीम का तो हमने आपको बता दिया कि ये इतना 5 लाख का बेनिफिट है, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग MSMEs के लिए है। माइक्रो को हम ज्यादा सब्सिडी देते हैं, स्फूर्ति और NER रीजन की यूनिट से उनको और ज्यादा सब्सिडी देते हैं। लेकिन हमारी और भी स्कीम्स हैं जिससे कि हमारे मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, माइक्रो, स्मॉल, मीडियम एंटरप्राइज और साथ में सर्विस एंटरप्राइज भी बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं। जैसे हमारी एक CGT MSE स्कीम है, क्रेडिट गारंटी ट्रस्ट फॉर माइक्रो स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज। ये वर्किंग कैपिटल और मशीन प्रोक्योरमेंट के लिए, टर्म लोन और वर्किंग कैपिटल दोनों के लिए अप टू 2 करोड़ का लोन आप इस स्कीम के तहत ले सकते हैं। इसका 75% गारंटी गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया लेता है। फिर गवर्नमेंट MSMEs चाहता है कि साहब मैं मेरे प्रोडक्ट्स को बनाऊं तो मुझे बेचने के लिए कहीं प्लेटफॉर्म मिले, तो हमारा एक 25% पब्लिक प्रोक्योरमेंट पॉलिसी है जिसके तहत जो भी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट मिनिस्ट्रीज, डिपार्टमेंट्स, अंडरटेकिंग्स जो भी प्रोक्योर करेंगे उसका 25% हैव टू बी प्रोक्योर्ड फ्रॉम माइक्रो एंड स्मॉल। इसमें मीडियम को भी हमने एग्जम्प्ट किया है। तो माइक्रो और स्मॉल से ही हमको इसमें लेने का कहा गया है। तो अराउंड 1.25 लाख करोड़ रुपीस तक का प्रोक्योरमेंट गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया करता है। तो सोचिए कि इसका 25% कितना बड़ा अमाउंट MSEs के लिए आता है। 358 आइटम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने एक्सक्लूसिवली रिजर्व किए हैं फॉर प्रोक्योरमेंट ऑफ items from MSE sector only. No large player can come in tender process for these 358 products. और इसके अलावा जब ये प्रोक्योरमेंट पॉलिसी में आपको टेंडर फॉर्म फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, यू विल गेट टेंडर फॉर्म फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, दैट इज एग्जम्पशन फ्रॉम द पेमेंट ऑफ अर्नेस्ट मनी एंड परचेस प्रेफरेंस फॉर MSEs। इस 25% का यदि ब्रेकअप देखेंगे तो इसमें अराउंड 4% रिजर्वेशन जो है वुमन SC/ST एंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए है एंड 3% रिजर्वेशन वुमन एंटरप्रेन्योर के लिए। 8% वुमन और SC/ST एंटरप्रेन्योर्स का जो कंट्रीब्यूशन इज वेरी लेस इन गवर्नमेंट, तो इसको जो है हमें थोड़ा सा एम्फेसिस करने की आवश्यकता है। फिर हमारी प्रोक्योरमेंट एंड मार्केटिंग सपोर्ट PMS स्कीम है जिसमें MSEs नॉट MSME, ओनली MSE, माइक्रो और स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज। यदि कहें कि साहब हमें मार्केटिंग चाहिए, तो मार्केटिंग के लिए क्या होता है, तो साहब जो नेशनल लेवल पर, ऑल इंडिया लेवल पर जो नेशनल डोमेस्टिक एग्जीबिशंस होती हैं, यदि इफ यू वांट टू पार्टिसिपेट, वी आर गिविंग रीइंबर्समेंट ऑफ रुपीज 1,25,000 फॉर मेट्रो रीजन एंड 80,000 फॉर अदर पार्ट्स। इसमें स्टॉल चार्जेस, एयर फेयर, ट्रेन फेयर एंड फ्रेट एंड पब्लिसिटी आर इंक्लूडेड। तो एनी माइक्रो स्मॉल एंटरप्राइज हैविंग उद्यम आधार registration, उद्यम registration can apply under this PMS scheme. Then capacity building of back please back. A modern packaging techniques, it is applicable for clusters. जो clusters हैं उनका पैकेजिंग के लिए 15 लाख पर क्लस्टर का फंडिंग सपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से है। रिटेल आउटलेट्स अभी क्या है, ज्योग्राफिकली आइडेंटिफिकेशन रजिस्टर्ड प्रोडक्ट्स जैसे रतलामी सेव है, कोल्हापुरी चप्पल है, तिरुपति लड्डू है ना, बीकानेर का भुजिया है। तो इस प्रकार के जो ज्योग्राफिकली इंडिकेशन रजिस्टर्ड प्रोडक्ट्स हैं उनके रिटेल आउटलेट ओपन करने के लिए 30 लाख और 20 लाख का फंडिंग है, जिसका 50% विल बी बोर्न बाय गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया, रिमेनिंग 50% बाय कंसर्न MSME रिटेल एंटरप्रेन्योर। फिर हम लोग वेंडर डेवलपमेंट, वी आर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग वेंडर डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम्स इसमें एक तरह से बायर सेलर मीट के टाइप का होता है, जिसमें सारे सेंट्रल मैक्सिमम जो एरिया के सेंट्रल के पीएसयूज रहते हैं वो अपनी क्वालिटी, अपना वेंडर रजिस्ट्रेशन और अपना प्रोक्योरमेंट शेड्यूल और साथ में उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट शो करते हैं, ताकि एमएससीज इस जगहों पर जाकर अपना सप्लाई दे सके। तो ये एक बहुत अच्छा प्रोग्राम है। नहीं तो क्या होता है कि एमएसएमईज वाला जो है बेचारा गेट से ही वापस आ जाता है कई बार। तो उसके लिए हम लोगों ने एक तो जैम रजिस्ट्रेशन पे भी आप रजिस्टर्ड करें अपने प्रोडक्ट को, और ये जो वेंडर डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम्स होते हैं उसमें पार्टिसिपेट करें। फिर नेशनल वर्कशॉप और सेमिनार्स के लिए भी हम लोग फंडिंग दे रहे हैं 5 लाख रुपीस का। तो ये एक बहुत ही अच्छा स्टेप है। इसके अलावा यदि आप कहेंगे कि सर हमें जो है नेशनल लेवल के अलावा हमें इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर भी हमारे प्रोडक्ट को ले जाना है, हमें पार्टिसिपेट करना है, तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट से कोई डेलीगेशन किसी भी इंटरनेशनल कंट्री में जा सकता है, बस वो हमारे प्रोग्राम की लिस्ट में होना चाहिए। तो इसके लिए हम पर एमएसएमई, ये जो है पर एमएसएमई के लिए है इंटरनेशनल कोऑपरेशन स्कीम, पर एमएसएमई वी आर गिविंग ₹5 लाख, जिसमें एयर फेयर होता है, स्टॉल चार्जेस होते हैं, फ्रेट एंड पब्लिसिटी होता है। तो ये एक बहुत अच्छी स्कीम है जिससे आप आपके प्रोडक्ट को ग्लोबल लेवल पर ले जा सकते हैं। मैं व्हेन आई वाज इन इंदौर मध्य प्रदेश, तो हमने अराउंड 45 लोगों को फॉरेन भेजा था, डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ ग्लोब के, और उसमें आप मानेंगे कि एमएसएमईज वो थे जिनका इन्वेस्टमेंट लेस देन 10 लाख था। कोई हैंडीक्राफ्ट आइटम बनाता था, कोई लेदर पर्स, लेदर बेल्ट बनाता था, कोई जो है रेडीमेड गारमेंट्स का काम करता था। तो इस प्रकार के लोग भी सब जा सकते हैं और अपना कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट प्लीज।
सर नीलेश जी, यहाँ पे हमारे जो क्राउड जो डेलीगेशंस हैं, वी हैव अ मिक्स डेलीगेशन, वी हैव फ्यू डेलीगेशंस फ्रॉम the mother zone like Meghalaya, Mizoram. So I think if we can use both the languages like Hindi and English, so because they have couple of they are
okay, no issue,
yeah.
no issue.
Yeah, right. Over to you.
So this is the next scheme is MSME Innovative Scheme. We are supporting the incubation, the design and intellectual property rights. How? If any entrepreneur has not an entrepreneur, if any national citizen of India has some idea and want to convert his idea into product, then he should visit our host institutions. Around more than 600 technical, management and professional institutions are approved by my department. So you have to show your idea and submit your idea to that institution, and after scrutiny of that your idea, the proposal will be go to our head office, and if it is approved, then concerned incubity will get ₹15 lakhs for conversion of idea to product. And what HI or host institution will get, if a HI is capable of submitting successful 2 to 3 idea or more than 2 idea, then the concerned institution is eligible for reimbursement of ₹1 crore to create R&D infrastructures. That is for the procurement of R&D equipments, so that the idea should become converted into product. So this is under this incubation scheme. This is the component of MSME innovative scheme. And the second concept is design. Design is most important point of the MSME. For design, we are giving 40 lakhs rupees as a subsidy for MSME. And for intellectual property right, we are giving for reimbursement for trademark up to ₹10,000. For design registration, we are giving 15,000. For GI registration, we are giving 2 lakhs rupees as a reimbursement. For national or domestic patent, we are giving 1 lakh rupees as a reimbursement. And for international patent, we are giving 5 lakhs rupees as a reimbursement. So this MSME innovative scheme is very good for students, MSMEs in the field of design, intellectual property rights and incubations. Then one more scheme is recently announced by Ministry of MSME under the subcomponent of International Cooperation Scheme, that is CBFT, Capacity Building of First Time Exporters. In this scheme, we are giving reimbursement for RCMC around 20,000. Then ECGC is 10,000, and for testing charges is around 1 lakh rupees. So this is very good scheme for first time export and capacity building of first time exports. Then for providing infrastructure, this is very scheme for the artisans. If a group of artisans up to 500, they can form a Spurti, a scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional clusters, Spurti clusters, like in our Meghalaya, that is in Salsala, cashew cluster and handicraft cluster is there. And around, we are giving support of 2.5 crore if artisans is up to 500. And if artisans is more than 500, then you will get support of 5 crores. Then again, a very good scheme for rural industry, entrepreneurship and promotion of innovation is Aspire. It is also a scheme of the Ministry of MSME, in which we are giving 100% grant for equipment, maximum 1 crore to government agencies, while 50% grant for maximum rupees 50 lakhs for public-private partnerships and NGOs. So Aspire under as livelihood project, it is under this scheme you have to train youth, educated or uneducated youth, and impart their skilling, increase their skilling. Next, please. Then for SC/ST entrepreneur, there is a special credit link capital subsidy scheme for SC/ST entrepreneur. Under this scheme, if you procure 1 crore equipment, then around 15% subsidy given by Government of India. And most important is trades. Trade receivable electronic discounting system for MSMEs. MSMEs are suffered because of the delayed payment. They supplied their goods and services, but they did not get payment on time. So if you go for Udyam registration, then they ask whether you are interested for GEM, whether you are interested for trades. Then you tick mark trades. Trade means you sell the product to any company whose turnover more than 500 crore or any central or state government department. And if your invoice is accepted in all respects, including quality, then your invoice will be sold on the platform, that is trades, and financial institution will give you the amount when you submit your invoice within 72 hours. So you did not wait for the payment from buyer. You simply take from this portal. So you should avail these benefits, and you also registered on trade portal. Earlier it was free. Now it is some amount, say 7,000 to 8,000. And ESDPs, we are giving training programs on 1-day awareness program, 5 days management development programs, and entrepreneurship skill development training programs. All these programs are free for women and SC/ST entrepreneurs. And for male entrepreneurs, male general category entrepreneur, we are taking EAP is free. 1-day awareness program is free, but 5 days program normally 500 rupees fees per participant. And for ESDP, it is normally 200 rupees per participant. ESDP entrepreneurship skill development training program is for 30 days. So these are the schemes through which you can enhance your quality, your knowledge, your expertise in exports, and your packing abilities, and many things. So my sincere request, please do your Udyam registration and take all benefits, and visit our MSME DFO office all over the India, and including Northeast region, and in some branch office you also visited. Next, please. And the most important is scheme. This cluster development pattern for NER. Cluster development is a concept in which similar type of production units are united together and form a cluster. If cluster has 2 components, one component cluster A1 and cluster B2. For A1, it is between total project cost between 5 crore to 10 crore. And for funding pattern, 80% borne by Government of India, 15% by state government, and 5% by special purpose vehicle, that is the cluster's main actor. Because SPV is formed by the union of minimum 20 units, but I can say that you start with 50 units. might be some units are left during the formation of cluster. So you start with formation of this cluster by collecting 50 units. So 50 units united and form a cluster. And another one scheme is from 10 crore to 30 crore, in which we are reducing our subsidy portion by 10%. So we are giving 70% or is a reimbursement, and state contribution is 15% and 5% from SPV. So important thing that all SPVs bear only 5% cost. Then for infrastructure development, this scheme is applicable only for state government agencies and state government departments. 5 crore to 15 crores, in which 70% funding support is given by Government of India. Remaining 30% is borne by the concerned state government. And then for if existing upgradation of existing industrial estate, then we are giving 5 crore to 10 crore. Out of this 5 crore to 10 crore, 60% support by my department, and remaining 40% will be borne by concerned state government. Next, please. And these are the self-employment schemes through which you can start. It is for educated unemployed youth, and you can start say funding from up to 25 lakhs up to 50 lakhs for manufacturing and service enterprise. Street vendor, in which 10 lakhs rupees funding is there. Mudra Yojana, 10 lakhs funding is there. Then this PMFME scheme, it is only for food processing related project starter, or to start a food processing project. Then under Stand Up India scheme, any SC, ST or woman entrepreneur can get loan of 10 lakhs to 1 crore through this scheme. And this Startup India Seed Fund scheme, similar to, this is the scheme of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. It is similar to our incubation scheme, but it is here is the incubity has been given by Government of India up to 20 lakhs and 50 lakhs for commercializations. So this is very important. The number one scheme is PMEGP, Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. Under this scheme, the maximum amount is 50 lakhs for manufacturing and 20 lakhs for service enterprise, and 35% subsidy for rural area and 25% subsidy for urban area for women, SC, ST, minority, and OBC, and physically handicapped person. And for general category, male entrepreneur, 15% subsidy in urban and 25% in rural. So we have to take separately these in detail. So first we concentrate on Z and other these schemes. Next, please. And this is all over. This is my presentation. Thank you for patience listening. Thank you, ICC, for conducting this Z awareness program. Now I move to Mr. Pranjal.
Thank you so much, Mileshji. Before moving ahead, we have a very small question from Mr. Dheeraj Srivastava. He is asking, this 5 lakh amount shall be given by government in advance or after the certification? What is the complete process for getting this fund to utilize?
Government normally not give upfront. You will get certified and they take reimbursement. It is a reimbursement.
Are distributors and traders covered and included in MSMEs?
Distributors, traders comes under MSMEs, and they can register themselves on Udyam registration portal. But important thing, Government of India, the benefit is only priority sector lending as of now. And because other benefits which I have explained in my scheme is only for manufacturing and service enterprise, except two. Number one is CGT MSC, Credit Guarantee Trust for Micro Small Enterprise. Under this scheme, traders can get loan of rupees 1 crore. Out of 1 crore, 50% their security collateral given by Government of India. Means guarantee is given by Government of India, so that they can 50 lakhs rupees is a collateral free loan, and next 50 lakhs they have to submit some assets to bank. So this is CGT MSC for traders. It is announced in year 2018. It is working. And another one is Mudra Yojana. It is also for traders. And Stand Up India is also for traders. And 10% quota is allocated for trading sectors.
Noted, sir. Sir, I have a question. I mean, why I'm saying I have a question as a chamber, we conducting some B2Bs and exhibitions all over India. And Meghalaya, we are going to have a 7th Actives Business Show in Shillong, probably in the month of November. So during your presentation, you were mentioning about PMS, where these MSMEs can avail these schemes. So how a chamber can entitle that particular exhibition under MSME, so these interested MSME can avail these benefits under the Udyog.
You have to propose your exhibition to our PPMS scheme by partnering our MSME DFO, and your proposal will go to headquarters. If your exhibition is approved, then around your MSMEs who are participating in this, your exhibition will get reimbursement subsidy, as I have mentioned in our PMS component.
Thank you so much. We have more questions, so we can do one thing. We can keep these questions during our interactive session.
Yes.
So now, without delaying it, let us proceed to our next panelist. May I request Mr. S.N. Panigrahi? He is the ZED consultant from MSME. May I request Mr. Panigrahi ji? Over to you.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
So let's start this presentation. Just a minute.
Kindly keep all, I request all the delegates to keep all of your questions ready. We will definitely get back to you during our interactive session. We will have an interactive session so we can clear all the doubts, your queries. So we request you to kindly be online, be live with us. We will get back to you again.
So good afternoon. I am S.N. Panigrahi. Before that, I should say thanks for Mr. Pranav Majumdar ji and Pranjal Barwa ji, then Nilesh Trivedi ji from ICC and MSME for giving me this opportunity. I'm basically electrical engineer. This is my brief here. I'm international consultant, business consultant now, and also a corporate trainer, mentor, and author. As I told you, I'm basically electrical engineer with MBA, PG diploma in TQM and ISO 9000. Over 30 years of experience I have, plus experience in corporate world. And last almost like 6 years plus, I'm into the consultancy and the trainings. And I'm a PMP certified and also authorized training partner, ATP instructor of PMI USA. And in 2016, I become PMI India champion. I'm also a fellow Institution of Engineers and also chartered engineer, then ZED consultant, certified Lean Six Sigma Black Belt from Exemplar Global as well as from KPMG. Then I have been trained in COD, Center for Organizational Development, for 3.5 years on strategy and leadership. And I have done more than 300 plus workshops globally. Of course, before Corona, I used to travel to Middle East most frequently, but later because of health reasons, I stopped. I have published more than say 100 plus YouTube presentations and 140 plus SlideShare presentations. These are in the public domain. You can verify. I have published more than 500 articles in national and international journals, and I have been associated with a number of chambers and various associations globally and in India also. These are my brief. So I'm not now going further into this, all the details about the this ZED scheme, because already Nilesh ji is covered. So briefly to tell you, this presently, the ZED scheme is for the manufacturing units only, but service sector, maybe they announce later on, but not at present. So we are focusing on
Panigriji,
the,
can I request you to kindly enlarge your PPT if you can make it
yeah.
larger more?
I'll make, sir. I'll make. Yeah. So the ZED scheme
Perfect,
is proposed to implement in 2 phases, but presently they focus on the manufacturing only, manufacturing MSMEs with Udyam registration. So we are confined to manufacturing. Service maybe in next phase they may introduce, and also they want to introduce with digitalization. Then they want to integrate all those things. So we are presently talking about only manufacturing aspect. The advantages and all thing I'm not covering. I'm skipping these things. So I'm coming to the registration part of it. For the registration, you have to go to the side. Website is there. I'll show you later. So you have to go to the website. Then you have to generate the ZED ID registration. Then of course you have to take the pledge. Pledge is a mandatory requirement. First you have to take the pledge. Then of course others you can go. One of the MSME coverage, that is because of the COVID, lot of sanitary related and other aspects are covered. This is called WASH. WASH scheme is there. So that is free of cost. You can register and you can become a MSME coverage. Then about the ZED registration, there are 3 schemes are there: bronze, silver, and gold. And these are the parameters, 20 parameters are there. Based on the 20 parameters, they will assess. But for the bronze, that takes only 5 parameters: the leadership, Swachh workplace, occupational workplace safety, measurements of timely delivery, quality management. These are the 5 parameters they're taking for the ZED bronze scheme. And if you go to the silver, then it will be 14 parameters. So like this 14 parameters we are taking. If it is gold, then 20 parameters. These are all the 20 parameters are taken. Comprehensive, very large, means comprehensions you have to comply with, and lot of requirements you have to comply with, then you will be gold. Of course, if you have any certification, international certifications, like these certifications, ISO 45001, then you will be exempted from the occupational workplace safety. Means this OSHA certification. When your OSHA certification, the serial number 3 will be exempted. Suppose your ISO 9000 certificate, then quality management, that QMS basically, that is being exempted. Like this, there are certain exemptions are there. I have shown to you in the last extreme right hand side column. So certain exemptions are there, means you need not show again the evidence. These are evidence based assessment. These are all evidence based assessment. Of course, if you have these certifications, then again you need not show the evidence for those parameters. All other parameters have to show. For example, it is the bronze scheme. As I told you, there are 5 parameters. On these 5 parameters, you have to show the evidence that you are following and you are put in practice in your organization. So ZED is basically, because as I told you, this is about the 0 defect and 0 effect. So they mostly focus on these some of the parameters, so that your delivery will be 100% with accuracy, without any defects and errors. And also, it will not be any effect on the either in the environment or in the adverse impact on any of the societal aspects. So that is what this is. The concept is conceived. It is Indian origin concept, purely in Indian, but combination of the various concepts brought in from various aspects of good practices. So all the good practices, they club together into one scheme. They call it ZED scheme, to encourage the MSMEs, so that they will be becoming world-class manufacturers. At present, we are talking manufacturing. So world-class manufacturers in terms of the quality, in terms of the delivery, in terms of the cost, in terms of the, again, effects on the environment. So worldwide now, environmental consciousness is increased. And India also, we have put many regulations. But these are certain regulations are voluntary basis. Certain regulations we are putting the compulsory. So when it is compulsory, you have to follow as a mandatory requirement statutory compliances. But there are always some skippage is there. People used to avoid it. But whatever the reason. But if you follow these things rigorously, definitely that benefit will be there. Not just we are talking about the government is giving certain schemes and benefits, or the some subsidies. Not apart from this, lot of benefit you yourself will get. That is more important. Like for example, any of the items are rejected. Suppose you are manufactured and the item is rejected by the vendor or the supplier, means your supplier, and your customer has rejected. Then what will happen? When he rejected, you have to bring back. That cost is involved. You again rectify it, modify it. If not possible, you have to scrap it. All costs are involved. But if you are making these practices, good practices, put into your your practicing, then definitely there will be certain reduction in the any of the rejections or errors, defects, and customer loyalty will increase, so that the customers will place more the orders, or your reputation will increase. As a result, your growth of the organization can happen. So don't look this is only from the government subsidiary point of view or certain benefits point of view, which government may give, but look from the your own development, your growth, your competitiveness in the in domestic as well as international markets. So from that angle, you have to look into. Subsequently, I'll show you also some of the benefits what we can accrue from these schemes. Some of the parameters I'll take, picks up, then I will explain you how that benefits can be done and how we can implement like that. So as I told, this is the scheme. First is a bronze scheme. In the bronze scheme, first is, of course, you have to take the pledge. Always there is a pledge. The pledge you have to take. After the pledge, you have to undertake the compliance related undertaking you have to make. What are the compliances you are following? As I told, there's a 5 parameters: leadership, Swachh workplace, then workplace occupational safety, then measurement of timely delivery, quality management. These are the parameters. Based on these parameters, that evidence must be shown. You have to make the declaration that we are following this or complying with these requirements. Then as evidence, you have to upload certain documents, some photos. So what are those? Some of the examples I'll tell you. After that, the recommendation by the QCI and his panel, they recommend, then you will be certified as a bronze certified. Okay. Of course, this certificate is valid only for 3 years. After the expiry, again, you have to recertify with showing the evidence. That means it is a maintainability is very important. It's not like one-time certification. One time you got and lifelong you can enjoy the certificate. No. Timely, there must be some updations. So you have to update yourself and recertify once the 3 years period is completed. Similarly, if you go to the silver certifications, then again pledge you have to take and undertaking that you are following. These are the 14 parameters here. These 14 parameters, you have to show the evidence, certain documentary evidence, certain photographs, all those things you have to show the evidence, and those has to be uploaded in this portal. Then of course there is assessment. In the bronze, there is no third-party assessment. It is only self-declaration in the bronze. But when it comes to the silver, of course, you have to make the remote assessment, not in the site assessment, but remote assessment. Whatever you have been uploaded, that will be remotely they will assess by the assessors. By the assessors, they will assess. Then they will make the recommendation. Based on the recommendation, of course, you will be entitled for the certificate. So this is how. But here also it is a 3 years validity. And once again within 3 years, once after the 18 months, there will be a remote surveillance audit, means assessment. That is also remotely will be done by the assessors. Then that will be continued. Means intermediately there is certain assessment because you have to whether following or not, or you're skipped again. One time you're followed, then you're skipped, not maintained. So therefore, they want to have this assessment also intermediately. That is on 18 months it's completed. Then there is a remote surveillance, that assessment. Again, as I told you, 3 years. After 3 years, again you have to reapply for this. Then comes to about the gold. The gold certificate, again, there is a first is a pledge, and then undertaking for the 20 parameters. Now it is increased. It is not, sorry, it is not 14, it is increased. It is actually 20. All the parameters means all the 20 parameters you have to follow. So the 20 parameters you have to follow, then evidence also has to be shown. So it is evidence based. Yeah. But here, one aspect you have to remember, that just uploading and the evidence you're showing as in some photographs and nothing, not enough. There will be site assessment. The assessors will come to your site, your workplace. They will make assessment. Based on that assessment, they'll make the recommendations. Accordingly, your certificate will be granted. Again, this is a 3-year certificate, and there is a remote surveillance assessment will be done after the 18 months. Then, of course, after 3 years, you have to recertificate, because it is again you have to recertify it. So this is how the schemes uploading and all thing. Some further I'll tell you. Here there is exemptions, as I told you, for parameter 3 about the OSAS related, means safety related. So ISO 45001, if you have certified already, so again you need not show any evidence. So similarly, the 5th parameters like quality management, ISO 9001, you are certified. Again, recertificate means evidence is not required. So that is exempted. Like this, others also in certain places it is exempted. These are the parameters exempted if you are certified with these certifications. Then benefits, of course, Nilesh ji is very nicely covered. So I'm not much again repeating. So about the cost. Of course, it's a huge cost is there. Huge cost. The cost is your mindset. The cost is your efforts. The cost is your outlook. So that is the cost involved. Means is the right mindset and right outlook for the growth of your own organizations. It's not like much of the cost you see. What is the cost I've shown to you? And what is the subsidy again given to you? That is also you can see. So for example, is a bronze. The cost is 10,000. And subsidy again 80% is given. So what is the cost you can understand. But why I called is heavy cost? Because your outlook, you have to put, your efforts you have to put for your own growth. So it is for your good. Government is giving all these benefits for your good, your own personal, means your organizational growth. As a result of all the MSMEs growth, the national growth will be there. So that is an object. So more you contribute and more the national wealth will be developed. So with this object, lot of efforts are being made into this concept to bring this into practice, implementation. So the government is bearing the 80% of the cost if you are micro in an enterprise, and is only 10,000 you have to spend, but 80% you will get reimbursement. Then if it is a silver certification, then it's 40,000. Then 60% if you are a small enterprises, I am assuming, then it can be, you can get the 60%. In the gold, it is 90%, 90,000. Again, what are the category you are into, either micro or small or medium, accordingly you will be entitled with this subsidy. Apart from this, various other benefits also they are extending. So these are some gap analysis. If you are making any of the certification, handholding support is required. Nilesh ji already told that up to 2 lakhs handholding support from the consultations that you will get. And 3 lakhs also you will get if you are making certain technological improvements. for pollution controls or any of the cleaner technology you are adopting. For that, another 3 lakhs subsidy is provided. But remember, these first you have to show, you have to spend, and then of course you have to get reimbursements. So it is not like in advance payments. Advance payments, nobody will believe now, because what is happening, everybody knows. So you had to spend first, but you will get the reimbursement of these things. Okay. And this 3 lakhs, of course, there is subject to consultants' recommendations and verification by the respective MSME DIs. Then approval from the program monitoring advisory committee is there. From that you will get. So once they recommend it, then you will get the reimbursement of these amounts. Okay. And again, here also subsidy. These are the subsidies you see. 8 micro enterprises 80% subsidy of these amounts, and small enterprises 60%, medium is 50%. Like this you can get. And also here, the northern region, northeastern region, there is certain additional subsidy of the 10%. Of course, Nilesh also covered, or women entrepreneurs or SC/ST, like that are Himalayan region. So these things, they will get certain additional subsidy of 10% over and above. Just I told you about the various divisions of the subsidies. Over and above, you will get this 10%. Then surveillance audit also, or assessment also, there is a cost, because after the 18 months, you have to get the surveillance certification assessments. Then that is for the silver, it is. For bronze, there is no, because it is only self-declaration based. But in silver, of course, you have to pay for the 10,000, and for the gold, you have to pay for 20,000. Again, here subsidies like this: micro enterprise is 80%, small enterprise is 60%, medium is 50%. Like that, you can get the. And of course, the definition of the what is the micro, small, medium, Neeraj ji already told. So I need not again explain you. So in this category, if you are falling, accordingly, your subsidies will be entitled. Okay. Now let us go to the this assessment base, how it will be done, how the uploading and all things is done. I will briefly cover. Then I will come with this furniture based industry. What are the requirements and all things also I'll cover. Right. So the basic informations like this you have to provide on the portal. The photos representing the your one representative must be there from each of the your industry. So his selfie, then site that your means either your factory or any of the premises where you are working, or workshops are there, the factory is there, that external. Then of course all the internal and all thing also, product manufactured, key customer, domestic customers or international customers, the details, and what are the raw materials imported, or the raw materials what you're procuring. So other details also accordingly you have to provide the energy sources, all these things you have to produce the details. And when you're producing these photographs, very importantly you have to understand the clarity of the photos, because some of these things are self-assessment basis, they declare, and accordingly a certification has to be given. For example, bronze, and others also in silver also there is a remote audit will be there, assessment will be there. So therefore the photographs uploading is very important part. If you're not properly providing your evidences, because these are evidence based and self-declaration based, if that evidences are not very clear, then of course you are finding difficulty to get the certificate. So the evidences, for example, like this, for example, first is the site, external site, your office entry or building or gate. These things must be very clearly visible. Accordingly, you have to make this because there is certain evidence that you have a certain premises, you have certain means manufacturing facilities in certain locations. Okay. And not like this invisible. These are not visible, though you have taken photos, but these are not visible. Some photos you are taken from the very longer distance, which is not be recognizable, and other ways your name of the organization, other things not very clear. Some simply like certain wall and other things are being exhibited like. So these are not accepted. So you should take care of for providing the proper photographs of this. Similarly, the product photographs, what products you are manufacturing and output of your products. So that must be very clearly depicted. What is the item, what is the component, or what is the finished goods? Very clearly you must exhibit, and with lot, not just one single piece, but a lot also you have to exhibit, so that it will be clear. Not like where I'm showing that all the lots are kept or covered or something which is not recognizable, then it is not no purpose. So they will not provide the certificate. So that evidence must be very clear. So therefore, these things you have to take proper care of it. Suppose the products you are putting like this, it is not recognizable. In such case, your case will be, again, they make the queries and it will not be granted the certificate. Similarly, interiors. Now, the evidence of the shop floor, where you are following the cleanliness and proper markings are there. So these are the good practices, good shop floor practices. So if you are maintaining these things, then of course that will be evidence, because we are focusing on the Swachh. Swachh is one of the criteria, one of the parameter, major parameter in fact. And not only in India, in fact, we are calling this Swachh from the long days and may or may not be following. But if you see from the Japanese, and they followed this 1940s onwards, in the Toyota, they emerged the concept of Toyota production system, and they started with the 5S concept. People later added another S, is the safety also. So 6S, but this is again talks about the your cleanliness. So cleanliness, if you see one of the parameter, like for example, I'll take these furniture aspects. The leadership is one of the first parameter. The leadership, you have to exhibit the documentary evidences you have to show, and you have to upload in the system that your organization chart, for example, and what are the different roles and responsibilities, the communication, directing all the stakeholders for the following the ZED cultural practices. Some evidence you have to show that you have started seriously about adopting the ZED concept. And then Swachh, I told you, the Swachh is proper nomenclature, means leveling and nomenclatures of the building units or yards. Then task identifications, products, the employee roles and responsibilities well defined, that evidence must be there. And training, also essential part of it, ZED training. Of course, you may be getting from the external, some supporting consultants or otherwise, or associations, but internally also what such trainings you are conducting, that evidence must be there. How frequently you are conducting, who are the people attended the trainings, so that give the culture development, means internal your culture has to develop, change, so that every employee is quality conscious, cleanliness conscious, then defect free, errors free. All this, the culture has to develop. So therefore they focus on these documentation related, and any of the SOPs are there, standard operating procedures, or any of the root cause analysis, any defects or any wrongs happens, something goes wrong or errors happens, whether you have a systematic approach to address that such defects. So that also you have to put into practice. And also CAPA means the corrective action and preventive action. What is this also I'll show you. And we are now going about the 5S, for example. If you are following the 5S, that implementation or not, that is also certain evidences. If you're able to show it, then definitely it is a good that you are following certain practices which is in line with the requirement of the ZED. So here about this 5S and other thing, I will tell you small detailing, then we will move. Just a minute, sir. Here we are talking about the 5S. What is the 5S? I tell you. Actually, it is Japanese concept. 5S is means putting the means product in the right place, putting the product in right place, right products in right place, and cleanly and properly segregated with the proper traceability. So this is the basic concept of the 5S. First is, if you don't want any of the items, for example, so that items has to be removed from the workplace, either disposed of, or if you don't want presently, you keep that separately with a red mark, red tag, we call it red tag, and make a red tag and keep away from the workplace or regular requirement place. So what is the requirement zone you keep in place? That is what we are talking about, sorting, which is essentially required and which is not required at present, which is not at all required, so dispose it off, so that the place will be sorting out. Okay. And second one is set in order. Set in order means with proper identifications and proper place you have to earmark, and there you have to keep that item so that it can be easily traceable. Not everything is mixed up, but keep in proper places the items, and items has a traceability with a unique numbering system or coding system. So that is a second S, set in order. Then the third is about the shining, means suppose the bearings are there. If you're not keeping in a proper cleanliness, means cleaned and oiled and properly kept in the proper place, then at the time of the requirement, if you're taking a bearing of the junk, which is taken a junk, or there is a dust accumulation, then the functional requirement will not be fulfilled. So you have lost the purpose of that bearings. Okay. So standardize. Once you're practicing good practices, you have to standardize with proper your policy, procedures, documentations. Then of course sustain means continuation. You have to continue with these practices which are adopted good practices. You have to continue. It is not like one time for one purpose, for example, ZED purpose, you got the certification purpose, you maintain certain thing. After a few months, you forget and everything again old fashion, old habits, then it will not serve the purpose. So the 5S, this is the meaning of the 5S. So it has to be sustained for the long time period and also continuously makes the improvements. Okay. And sixth one is about the safety. Safety is very essential in the workplace. If anything, for example, a worker is because of the oil leakage or whatever the reason, he has while walking, he has a slip and some damage happens to him, or some fracture happened to his leg or hands, then a lot of things consequential losses can happen. One of the consequential losses may be labor strike or labor compensation, or to some extent labor unrest, stoppage of the work. So these are cost. So therefore, if you take these small things like it looks, but if you take the precautionary these measures, so the lot of consequential damages or cost can be reduced. So this is how about the 5S: improve your safety, decreases the downtime, raises the employee morale, identifies the problem more quickly, and develops the control through visibility, increase product and process quality, strengthens the employees' pride of their work, then promotes the stronger communication among the staff. These are some of the benefits of this 5S. So 5S means means a lot of good practices. They not talk directly about the 5S, but they talks about Swachh, for example. So the good practices you have to adopt into this ZED. So as I told you, these are the things for the 5S. First S means remove the all unnecessary items. Here the slogan is not required now, keep it away. Means it is sorting, cleaning, and decluttering or the declassifying. These are the sorting. Then set in order means you have to keep the certain items in certain places so that proper identification with your labeling, all these things can be put properly, so that at time of the requirement you can easily locate and trace it out. and retrieve, so that it saves a lot of time. And also suppose there is a breakdown, immediately you want certain tools, then you don't know where it is, then you're searching, then your production loss is there. So therefore, this is good practice, that you're knowing that these items are kept in that place with proper identification codes and all things. So immediately you can rush there and pick up, so that faster that breakdown you can attend. Okay. Then signing means keeping the clean and standardize, as I told you, standard the work practices, policy, procedures, your guidelines, standardize. Then sustain, continuous practice of this. So when you make this visual, like this is visual practice. So 5S, when you practice, everything is in proper place with proper identification, proper labeling. So then it is very nice that cleanliness you see at the floor, and the items where it is there, all the items are properly marked and coded and kept in proper places. So this is what the requirement of the cleanliness. Okay. Then maintenance, standardizing, the codification and other things. So this is what's about the 5S. Then again, I will go to this subject about some of the parameters what we are talking. I have taken this is for the furniture industry. Some of the industry means QCI made a lot of efforts into creation of this ZED certification, and behind it lot of documents, lot of knowledge repositories have been they created, and this is one of them. Industry wise also they made various industry wise, like for example, I will show you some of the industries. What is that? Just a minute. Sorry. Sorry, some movement, something problem happening. Yeah, industry wise, for example, like this industry wise, they kept industry wise also they created what is the requirements specific to that industry. Accordingly, we have to follow. For example, I'm taking the furniture industry because in northeast regions, furniture is one of the good industry, very prospective industry, in fact. So therefore, I have taken this, and accordingly, I'm talking to you this parameter only. So Swachh we are talked about. Then the second one is the third one we are talking. This is safety related. If you follow this 5S also, a lot of safety related, because the soft floor you are keeping very clean. There's no leakages. Everything is cleaned up, and the soft means flooring also you are kept very neat and clean. Then safety related also, many of the risk factors you can avoid. Okay. And of course, other aspects they've described. Because of the time short, I'm not able to cover everything details, but this is about the safety related also. Then about the measurement of the timely deliveries, means recording of the contract and the delivery schedules. Suppose you have automated any of the ERP systems, is well and good, there it is captured. Otherwise also, if you have manual systems also, whether you are properly capturing the contract wise, each of the customer wise, what is the delivery periods, and when you are delivering, any delays are there, how many delays are there, all this you have to measure it. Unless you measure, you can't improve. So about this month, you have a say out of say 100 deliveries, so 10 deliveries are delayed. So you can investigate, once you know, measure it only that 10 are delayed, then you can investigate why that delay happened. What is the root cause of the delay? There is various methods are there for the root cause analysis. Like a Ishikawa method is there. That's also we call as a fishbone diagram or cause and effect diagram. Through that, you can investigate why that delay happened. Or 5I method is there. Like other methods also there for the root cause analysis. We can identify what is the root cause, so that you can rectify. This month is say 10 happened late deliveries. You have to target next time it comes down to say 50% or 60%. You have to bring down. and next another month, maybe you want to bring down. Ultimately, there must be zero delays and zero defects. So on time in full, or OTIF, or default also we call it. So on time delivery and in full quantity you have to deliver and without defects. So that is what we have to measure also, so that improvements we can adopt. So it is continuous improvement model aspect. We have to follow this measurement of the deliveries and its quality also. The fifth one is quality. If the quality parameters are you're not following, or defects are there, you are generating defects, either process defects or any of the manual defects because of the input defects or other defects happens, either inputs or the process related, any of the defects happens, then outcome may be a defective. In such case, we have to identify whether inputs are incoming inputs or the process where the defects, where it has been generating. So we have to investigate properly, and we have to improve our capabilities, process capabilities. Also ensure that inward what are the raw materials inputs we are consuming, those are quality products. So therefore, we have to follow certain quality measurements, quality management systems. QMS is one of the good. When you are taking the ISO 9000, of course, they follow with the QMS. So you have to follow certain policy procedures about the quality standards you have to establish, and you have to follow the quality standards. Okay. Suppose you are not following the quality standards, what could happen? The cost of quality, for example, I'll tell you. This is about the cost of quality. Generally we talks about higher quality means higher cost. Higher quality means higher cost, but it's not so. It is a misnomer. So it's a misunderstanding that higher quality is a higher but quality many times means you have to maintain the good quality. Many associated other costs, non-performance related costs can come down. So in one of the article published in Harvard Business Review in 1956, Ahmad V. Fagbaum, he has published an article. There he talks about cost of quality and cost of poor quality, cost of good quality and poor quality, or he called it a cost of conformance or cost of non-conformance. The same concept again further, Philip B. Crosby of Japan, he is a Japanese quality guru, and he has wrote a book, Quality is Free. There he is described about the cost of conformance and cost of non-conformance. So cost of conformance means if you are putting certain efforts to bring down the non-conformance related, like for example, preventive costs, like you are adopting good practices, good standards, quality plannings, and giving the training to your employees so that they will not make any mistakes or wrongs, or you are adopting some of these standards like ISO 9000 QMS or GMP, like that certain standards you are following, those are called preventive costs. Though there is certain cost is incurred, but subsequently the result is the cost of poor quality or cost of non-conformance will come down. Subsequent slides I'll show you all these effects. Then appraisal costs. These two are called as a cost of good quality. To maintain a good quality, you require certain cost incur, but as a consequence of it, the cost of non-conformance will come down. The appraisal cost like incoming raw materials inspection or process inspection, finished goods inspection, calibration, audit, vendor place ratings, supplier ratings, or supplier place inspections. So those are called appraisal costs, so that wrong things will not enter into the process. If the wrong things are not entered into the process and process is capable of producing the high quality products, then definitely you can ensure that there is no defects, and timely supply also can be done, and process related, the process flow also you will improve, your efficiency will improve, your productivity will improve, effectiveness will improve. So that is what the cost of good quality. You incur certain cost, no doubt, but consequently you save a lot of things. Now comes to the cost of poor quality, or internal failure cost or external failure cost. Internal failure cost means before sending to the customer, you identified certain items which are defective. So you have to make the rectification, you have to make the repair, you have to make the modifications. Therefore, some additional resources are required, raw materials are required, or components are required, machine time is required, labor time is required. So these are the costs. So these costs are called internal failure costs. Similarly, external failure cost means by chance the material is went wrong material, defective materials, or went to the customer. Customer has rejected. What will happen? You have to bring it back, or order will be cancelled, or certain penalties are imposed, or legal actions are taken. So loyalty is lost, because customer loyalty you can't maintain if you are delivering the wrong or defective quality products. Therefore, you lost certain business. Warranty related also costs or comes under the external failure cost. Means you have sent certain items, within the warranty period the customer is found certain defects, then you have to rectify it free of cost. That cost you have to incur. So those are called as cost of internal failure cost. So these are some of the examples, like I'm showing this one, what just I talked to you. These are the some of the examples. The essence of it, why I'm talking is, if you improve, means make a lot of investment on the cost of confirmation or cost of good quality, means your prevention cost and appraisal costs are increased, then definitely the non-conformance related, the defects related cost will come down, means failure cost will come down. So that is the certain times always we visualize that on the surface only we are seeing certain costs, which are the costs of quality life, means these are the costs like inspection, rejections, returns, warranties, reworks, repairs, scrap. These are the some of things like we are seeing the cost which we are visible, but there is a lot of invisible costs are there because of the poor quality. So these are the some of them: extra works, planning delays, freights cost, delay costs, failure of the products, excessive services required, unused capacity or long stand-up queues, customer dissatisfactions or loss of the customer orders, loyalty, business loss. So all these certain costs are there, hidden costs. So your business will be lost as a result. You can't improve your business. Business growth will be stalled, because nowadays customers are very, knowledgeable, and there are many options also there. Not just only you are the supplier, many other suppliers are there. If you are not there in India, even from the abroad also they can bring, from the imports also can do. So why we lose that market, that customer, that business? So you have to improve that. You have to invest on preventive costs so that your failure cost will come down. So if you invest on in this green color, if you invest on the prevention cost, your failure cost will fall drastically. Up to, of course, one point. Beyond it, of course, not necessary to invest more on your prevention costs. But up to a certain point, if you are investing, definitely your failure cost will come down. Means, for example, originally before the quality assessments, alignments, these are the costs, for example, failure cost internal and failure cost external, then appraisal cost. And this is prevention cost. Prevention cost, you are making a small amount you are spending. Suppose you are increase the prevention cost is increased, then other related costs will fall down drastically. As a result, there will be net saving. As a result, this what I am talking benefit, the red arrow, this net saving. Originally, your costs are like this level, but now it is fallen down to this level. So why I am talking this is, the ZED also talks about this similar concept. You adopt the good practices, prevention costs, increase the prevention cost, good practices adopt, then definitely your non-conformance, your defects or failures will fall down. Your business will grow. So as a result, all you're benefiting. So as a result of your good contribution to the nation will also grow. Nation will be shown as a Means suppose we have every nation we have certain perceptions. When we talks in Japan, our immediately in our mind it comes like it is a quality product. When you talks about Germany, they are engineeringly sound, so durability. So like that, immediately some products if we see are the company means countries we talks about, we talk of immediately have certain thought that these are the associated with that quality. Suppose we talks of China, we had different perception, but when you call about Japan, a different perception. So like that, why not India image we can improve? So not only with the domestic market or domestic supplies, but in international also, our brand image as a country image we have to improve through quality only. Okay. So this is about the quality you are benefiting. As a result, you are benefiting, and as a nation also benefiting. Okay. Okay. Now again, I will go to this furniture related I'm talking about. I will go there. Some other aspects we'll discuss. So this is about the management of quality we are talking about. So quality related, any defects and other thing there, then kappa and that is means corrective action and preventive action. What is the difference also I'll tell you later. Then leadership. Leadership quality also very essential. This is starts with silver. Means up to that 5, first one is about the bronze. Then we talks about the silver. Silver first is leadership and Swachh Bharat. These things are very common, but little bit improvements must be there. Some additional features we have to evidence must be shown. Okay. So here also measurement and the quality. Then here the sixth parameter, the new in the silver up to 5 only. There is those parameters in the bronze. Now the additional parameters like silver. In the silver, human resource management. Then about the daily work management. About the daily your means daily related the quality cost. Just I discussed those are also part of it. Daily work management. How you are maintaining your shop floor, your planning and inputs and outputs, deliveries. All these things has to be properly measured, and any means defects or anything you identify, then root cause analysis has to make. Therefore, you have to make the corrective actions and preventive actions. Those things are mentioned here. So maybe some difference. I'll tell you what is the corrective action and preventive action. For that, I'll tell you some.
May I intervene in between? So
yes, sir.
I would like to request you. Your PPT is actually not visible on the screen. Can you reform the PPT?
Not earlier. Also, what I'm showing is not so visible.
No, it was visible, but now
it is stopped. No, it is there.
It's
no,
not.
Sir.
It's not showing over there.
Okay. Again, I will. Now again, I will reopen. Is it okay, sir? Able to see?
Yeah. Now it's fine.
Okay. So now I will differentiate what is the means kappa what is the corrective action and preventive action. I'll tell you. Just I will full screen I'll take. Yeah. We have 3 aspects: corrective action, preventive action, defect repair. Suppose you are making a storage of the oil tank, diesel for example, and one fine day you found that diesel is leaking. Then immediately what we do? Immediately what is the leaking that we have to stop? The leakage has to be stopped. So that immediate action for correcting the defective we call as a defect repair. Then preventive action, corrective action I'll tell you. Preventive action means once you identified some defect is already you have seen or something happened already, then you're taking certain measures you're taking how to stop not to happen such defects again in future. So that is called as a means corrective action. After something happened, reactively you are doing. So that is a corrective action. Preventive action means how to prevent these things before something happened. So these are the proactive measures. Preventive actions are proactive measures. Like for example, your means maintenance, and so preventive maintenance. Before something happened, every time we, of course, the machines we are maintaining, our car we are maintaining, taking the service centers. Before something damage happens or before something defects happens, we are taking time to time into service centers and taking the services. Those are called preventive measures. Okay. Similarly, training or making some checklists, for example, so that as per the checklist, everything is okay, then only we are passing on. So that is also preventive action. So preventive actions are proactive measures. Okay. So the preventive action, corrective action, preventive actions we call as a kappa. Okay. Corrective action, preventive action. In ISO standards also we follow this type of kappa. Nowadays they improved in a new version. They called not as a kappa but assessment. They call it a risk assessment. Okay. Then planned maintenance. Means time to time, before something happen, you have to make the maintenances, and also they have to see about the minimal time is wasted for the maintenance, so that means for the either preventive maintenance or the post factor something breakdown maintenance, something happens, both the maintenance is loss of the production. Preventive maintenance time to time you are doing. The breakdown maintenances, the frequency or its occurrence is losses may come down. So preventive maintenance also, how to minimize the time loss of the production, we have to think of. Some recorded times must be made. So we are talking about the MTTR and other MTBF and all things. Some measures are there. So through that we can do. Then process controls. Process controls like for example, a control chart or check sheets. These are the some of the quality control, means 7 Qs we call it. 7 basic quality tools put in practice, mainly about the control chart. For example, whether we are following this control chart, means that productions, what are the samples we are taken up for the testing, whether those are falling within the upper control limit and lower control limits. So those has to be observed. Anything is going out of the control, then proper investigation has to be made, or any trend is indicating that it's going out of the control, though at present is within controls. But if any trend is there, the rule of 7, like that we call it. So then we have to investigate why that happening. So that prevention has to be taken, or corrective actions properly we have to take. Again here kappa we are following. So next is the 10th is about the product quality, safety testing certifications. Any of the standards are there, quality marking are there, or any of the norms we are following, those whether following or not, that evidence we have to show. Then about the materials management, incoming raw materials or packing materials or any of the consumables, and its flow of the materials, and just in time practices we have to maintain, so that there should not be any of the extra inventory. Extra inventory is extra cost. Extra cost is lost to the business. So that is also good practice we have to adopt. And there also should not be any of the loss because of the non-availability of the material. So yeah, appropriate inventory has to be maintained. Appropriate quality standards we have to bring in that material, input materials, and so that we can ensure the output also good quality. So energy management, how to minimize the energy. Energy is not just your cost. It is national waste. It is universal waste. Anything you're consuming extra, means electricity you're consumed extra, it means extra electricity need to be generated. Extra electricity need to be generated. In India, for example, 70% of the electricity we are generating to thermal energy, where we using the coal. Again, we are creating certain pollution related outputs for the generation of the electricity, thermal generation. Lot of pollution also we are creating. So it is a national resources are wasted. At the same time, environmentally also we are damaging. So the ZED, when you are talking about both, we have to reduce the defects and also reduce the effect. Effect means environmental effect, for example, in this case. So minimize, try to minimize what are the best possible. There is various methods are there. How to minimize the energy audits and all thing also there. If you adopt, lot of savings can be done. Or simple methods also there. Some we can advise, so you can reduce the energy costs. Similarly, environment related, the effluents or the any of the discharges, or even using of the unwantedly we are using some extra, for example, anything we have made a defect, again is a consequence on the environment, means extra consumption of the natural resources is a not only your cost, not only national cost, it is environmental a major disaster, because we are depleting the natural resources. As a result, in our future generation, we are putting them into endanger. Okay. So that is also taken into ZED. So environmental factors. So you see, the ZED is, that is why it is a combination of the best practices in many of the other certifications and all things what we are practicing. The club took all these things into one practice, that is ZED practice. If you put these things, definitely your organizational growth will be possible, and also you are contributing for the nation as a whole, again for the environment also, society also you are contributing, good for the society, good for the environment, good for national wealth and growth. Like now it comes the gold. Gold again starts with, means first these 14 points are for the silver. After the 14, then it comes for the gold. Gold you have to go about. Additional factors are there. The 13 is up to 14, I told you. Up to this is silver also same. Then in the gold, they started with the supply chains and risk management. Supply chain risk management also, it is again your business related and also environment related. And business risk also you have to think it of. Some of the factors I'll tell you about the business risks. First I will cover. So this is what the about the supply chain. Supply chain means chain of supplies. From your input suppliers, it may come to the your warehouses, then into the your so suppliers, then to your manufacturing place facilities, then from to the distributors, wholesalers, then retailers to the consumer. This is what the all supply means. Chain of supplies is called supply chain. Any disruption happened on the supply chain also endanger your business. That's the risk factors. Okay. Some of the environmental means risk factors for your organization may be about the strategic risk, or the operational risk, technological, market related, quality related, financial, political or social, environmental, or safety, health, IT related risks, legal or regulatory, other compliance risks. Like that, many types of risk factors are there. Of course, the details of
supply chain risk management become a top priority agenda of all types of organizations, especially in recent times, because of a series of events which disrupted supply across the world, resulting in losses of millions as supply stoppages, cost volatility, loss of sales, non-compliance fines, and the related incidents that cause damage to the organizational image and brand, customer loyalty and reputation. Supply chain risk is any unforeseen event or anything that interrupts, disrupts, or impedes to the flow of supplies, goods or services, or information flows from the point of origin to the destination point, that is from the original supplier, till it reaches to the ultimate end user. Such disruptions may have severe negative consequences for the management of supplies, operations, and distributions. Some of the risks which may emerge in supply chain and business are charted below. People, policy, process and procedural related risks. Demand, supply forecasting and planning risks. Market, supplier, channel partners risks. Natural disasters, strikes, war and terrorism, pandemic risks. Technology, data integrity and cyber security risks. Legal, regulatory and compliance risks. Socio-political, cultural, economic and ethical risks. Health and safety, service level risks. Environmental, weather and climate risks. Performance risks. Scope, schedule, quality, delivery and financial risks. Likewise, many supply chain risks may occur which may disrupt the supply.
Okay. So these are the some of the just indication of the supply related, and also second part is about the risk factors. Supply also related to the risk. So in recent time, for example, in the COVID period, we have faced a lot of difficulties about the supply related.
Supply chain risk assessment process. Supply chain risk assessment process is a systematic approach having following 8 steps as follows. 1. Analyze business and business environmental factors. 2. Map supply chain network with risk factors. 3. Identify and assess risks. 4. Find critical supply risk factors and analyze impact. 5. Develop strategy and action plans. 6. Implement and institutionalize best practices and strategies. 7. Review risks periodically and take corrective preventive actions. 8. Good governance and continuous
improvements. So these are the some of the aspects you can take the measures. So these also incorporated in ZED. So that is one of the in the gold certification. If you go, is supply related and risk management related and waste also. Waste, there are MUDA that call it 3M. 3M, what is the 3M also? Just brief it. Just 5 more minutes, I will complete this here. This is the lean concept actually. Lean concept emerged from the Toyota production system. And as per the lean concepts, there are 3M model is there. 3M means this is the MUDA, MURA and MURI. What is it? Just listen to it.
3M model of lean. Toyota has developed its production system for achieving the complete elimination of all waste in pursuit of the most efficient methods. These wastes are categorized as 3M, namely MUDA, waste, MURA, unevenness, and MURI, overburden, are Japanese terms that refer to the 3 categories of waste found in a business. MUDA is a Japanese word, which means waste. MUDA are non-value added (NVA) activities in the workplace. NVAs add cost, effort and time but add no value to the product or service. There are 8 types of wastes, 7 defined by Teiichi Ono of Toyota plus non-utilized skills which shall be discussed further. MURA means in Japan, unevenness, non-uniformity, and irregularity. MURA is the reason for the existence of any of the 7 wastes. In other words, MURA drives and leads to MUDA. MURI in Japan means overburden, beyond one's power, excessiveness, impossible or unreasonableness. MURI can result from MURA and in some cases be caused by excessive removal of MUDA waste from the process.
So now we are talking 8 wastes.
Originally there were 7 wastes identified by Teiichi Ono for the Toyota production system TPS. As lean evolved into the rest of the enterprise and around the world, an 8th waste, non-utilized talent, was identified. The 8 wastes of lean can be remembered by using the acronym downtime, which stands for defects, overproduction, waiting, non-utilized talent, transportation, inventory, motion, excess processing. Now let's briefly understand each of them. Defects means imperfection, deficiency, flaw, weakness, wrongdoing, any deviations and incorrect information. Overproduction means supply that is more than needed or before it needed. Waiting, that is wasted time waiting for the next step in a process. Non-utilized talent means underutilizing people's talents, skills and knowledge. Transportation means unnecessary or extra movement of materials. Inventory is excess stock as raw materials, semi-finished goods, finished goods. Motion is unnecessary movement by people. Excess processing means more or extra work or higher quality than is required by the customer.
Okay. So all these things again a waste. So waste also correctly recognized in the ZED system. So waste management, minimize the waste. Okay. So minimize the waste means again you are benefiting from the your process improvement, efficiency, productivity, effectiveness, your organizational improvement. First you have to think of your organization definitely getting benefit. Also waste is also linked with many other aspects like environmental waste. Means you are depleting the environmental natural resources. So if you minimize this waste, definitely you can preserve. Okay. So this is the MUDA MURI I told you. Then technology selection. Then natural resources conservation, that is again waste related, all this involved, and also reduction of the consumption. So identifying how to reduce the natural resources. Then corporate social responsibility, the contribution giving back to the society. What you as an industry, you're contributing to society. It's not just for your well-being, but also the well-being of the society around you. For example, employees' well-being, are these some surrounding to you, they should not be damaged anything or affect to them, but they are benefited out of your the means your means facilities, your productions, your means products. The society also has to get benefit of it. So the good labor practices, good governance, environmental fair practices of the pricing or otherwise measurements, all the things, fair practices, so that you are also contributing for the society. So these are the 20 points. And as per the scheme, you have to select the gold means all the 20 points you have to comply with, and silver 14 points. Then bronze is only 5 points, like that you have to comply with. And uploading also, I told you how to upload, that visibility and all things. Some other uploadings, of course, I'll show you. So here I'm showing this cleanliness and other things I've shown to you. Similarly, here you see, if you are showing this your as a soft floor, it will be rejected. Floor is not just a plain floor, but they call it, this is the soft floor, where proper markings are there, proper systematically you are keeping the materials and components or other movements of the materials, and there is certain space is left for the movements, all these things, layout, all the things talks about how you are maintaining the soft floor, not like this. Then about the cleanliness, for example, toilets, workers' toilets, you have to represent, these are the photos you have to take and upload. So if you are showing like this, definitely it will be rejected. Similarly, raw materials and all things keeping, suppose they systematically are keeping with pallets or otherwise with proper markings, etc., it is accepted. Suppose you are showing like this, definitely it will be rejected. Then similarly, this is what the any of the means finished goods you are storing with proper marking, labeling, and neatly you are keeping. So this is accepted. Suppose you are showing like this, then definitely rejected. So any of the fire accident safety related measures, what you are following, the soft floor where you are keeping that means PPEs and other safety related equipments. So those things you have to clearly exhibit with overview of the where the location properly can be identified, like not like this. Okay. Similarly, like this is safety related again, not like this. And work means your workplace safety, you are following certain PPEs you are wearing, your workers are wearing, or employees. This is an evidence, but not like this. So like this, you have to provide the safety related posters and etc. as a awareness, not like like this, just keeping not visibly, like then it is not accepted. Like this, some of the safety again. Okay. So documents also which are very you are providing, that should be indicate certain parameters, measurements from your records, like this, dispatch registers, other quality related, any of the quality certifications you have to get, then you have to provide if you are already obtained any of the quality certifications. And after your assessment, means that is self declaration based, the bronze, then they will make this certificate, that bronze certificate, silver certification, then there will be remote assessment will be there. In gold, there is a on-site assessment will be there. After that, they satisfy, they recommend, then you will get the certificates like this. Okay. Of course, a little bit I crossed the time. Sorry for it. Now I am open for the question answers.
Thank you so much, Panigiri, for your valuable presentation, and of course, indeed, it was a very detailed presentation and very informative. And I'm sure all of us we have learned a lot of things. Now we are opening up with the question answer. This is an interactive session. So if any of you have a question, can you please raise your hand so we can allow you to speak or ask your queries.
Yes, some...
Mr. Naranal Bora would like to speak something. We have already. Can you just unmute yourself and raise your query, please? Mr. Bora. Naranal Bora. Mr. Naranal Bora, can you hear us? Any other question, any concern or any queries if you have, kindly please raise your hand so we can allow the flow to speak. I think Mr. Bora. Yes, Mr. I think we guess there is no such confusions from our delegates. Nileshji, would you like to include something before going for a conclusion and summing up? We have one feedback, very interesting session by both the speakers. Can recording and presentation to be shared? Is there state-wise detail of MSME with number of Z certified MSMEs? This has been asked by Mr. Gaurav Pandey. Nileshji, I think you are the better person to.
Yes. I now I unmuted myself. So if any question, you want some list of Z certified units, then it as Z certification scheme is on pan India basis. So they send me a mail or to you and you forward me, then I will collect the information and forward them.
Rightly noted. So, Mr. Pandey, I would request you to kindly mail me your requirements so we can get in touch with the MSME branch, so we can collect the information from them and we will share it with you. Any other question? Which I think,
If no question is there, then you ask them to send WhatsApp to us, then we will reply accordingly.
Yes. Yeah, there is one last question.
Okay.
How to become Z certified consultant is been asked by Mr. Pritam.
Okay.
Mr. Pritam
Mr. Panigray should give answer.
So, QCI, Quality Control of India. Quality Control of India, QCI is the nodal agency, and they call all the applications for the JED consultants, then accessors, then trainers. So these are the three categories they made, and accordingly they called the applications, and accordingly they done also some trainings to us. So that is how the process happened. But I don't know whether at present that due dates are available or not. But these applications are available in QCI, and QCI sent us the applications. Accordingly, we filled up, and accordingly we have attended the trainings. So that is how we become a consultant. So you also can become consultant, but I don't know at present that validity is there or not. But you can verify with the QCI. Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. So I guess we are done with this interactive session. If any of our delegates has any question, kindly get in touch with Indian Chamber of Commerce. You can write to us. Kindly please write down my email ID. It is pranjal.barua, BARUA, @indianchamber.net. kindly raise your queries to us so we can get in touch with you very soon. Now, indeed, it was a very informative session on ZED
Barwaji, I would
certification,
like to
which has
say
been
something.
recently launched.
Barwaji,
Yes, please.
I
Yes,
would
yes,
like to
yes.
say something. I am highly thankful to Shri S.N. Panigrahi साहब. उनके साथ मैं लास्ट 5 to 7 years से कनेक्टेड हूँ. हम लोग कई प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे साथ रहे हैं. और नाउ आईसीसी का भी मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ, क्योंकि आईसीसी के साथ अब हम और भी आगे प्रोग्राम्स करेंगे. और एमएसएमईज जो एनईआर के हैं, वी वांट मोस्ट एमएसएमईज जो हैं बेनिफिट लें हमारी सारी स्कीम्स से.
Thank you so much, Nileshji, for your valuable feedback, and we are really honored to be associated with Ministry of MSME, with all the DIs. And sir, आपको एक और चीज आपको अपडेट और आपको और हमारे डेलीगेट्स को बताना चाहेंगे. जैसे हमने बताया कि इंडियन चैम्बर ऑफ कॉमर्स इट्स वन ऑफ द पायनियर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, and we basically this has been formed in 1925, and we are one of the nodal agency of most of the ministries. And recently we are working under Ministry of MSME. We also have intellectual property facilitation center for the entire Northeast.
Okay.
So, yeah, here each and every entrepreneurs who are those who are willing to go for IP facilities, like starting from trademark, copyright, patent, they can please walk into our organization here in Guwahati. Our office is at Ganeshpuri in Guwahati, and you have my number, so kindly get in touch with us for any related to intellectual property rights. We will definitely support you and assist you for availing these IP rights. And apart from that, ICC also having under the scheme of IC, which you had discussed and explained, Indian Chamber of Commerce is taking a delegation of 20 MSMEs from India to Abu Dhabi during the Abu Dhabi International Food Exhibition, which is starting from 6 to 8 December. And rightly said, yes, of course, those who are under Udyom, they are actually getting a lot of benefits under this IC scheme. So we again welcome all the delegates who are basically from food industry, hospitality industry, spices. Please connect with us if looking ahead to join this exhibition, B2B exhibition, which is happening in Abu Dhabi. Now with this,
बरुआ जी, इसमें मैं एक ऐड करना चाहता हूँ कि आप आपके एमएसएमईज को बोलिए लास्ट 3 ईयर का आईटीआर और पासपोर्ट है ना, और ये सब रिक्वायर होता है फॉर वीजा, क्योंकि यूएसए, यूके और कनाडा में यदि हम एग्जीबिशन में ले जाते हैं तो बहुत लोगों को वीजा रिजेक्ट होता है. तो हमें इनका कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग बहुत मैंडेटरी करना है अपने सारे एमएसएमईज का. इनको सारे जो आईटीआर हैं रेगुलरली फिलअप करें और जीएसटी रिटर्न्स फिलअप करें. इनके पहले अकाउंट्स स्टेटमेंट्स भी रिक्वायर्ड होते हैं कई बार, तो ये लोग इसका ध्यान रखें. और आप एनएसआईसी की जो SC/ST हब स्कीम है उसमें SC/ST एंटरप्रेन्योर्स के लिए भी आप डेलीगेशन ले जा सकते हैं, उसके लिए एक अलग स्कीम है. तो आप यू शुड कॉन्टेक्ट टू लोकल NSIC ऑफिस एट गुवाहाटी.
NSIC office, definitely we will be in touch with them very shortly. Thank you so much for your suggestion, sir. बहुत जरूरी था सर ये इंफॉर्मेशन. कभी कभार हमारे इंफॉर्मेशन भी निकल जाता है. With this, now we are in the end of this virtual awareness program on ZED certification scheme for MSMEs. On behalf of Indian Chamber of Commerce, I, Pranjal Barua from Indian Chamber of Commerce, I extend a really hearty vote of thanks to our esteemed panelists, to Mr. Nilesh Trivedi, Assistant Director, Branch MSME, DO, Tura, Government of India, Ministry of MSME, and Mr. S.N. Panigrahi, who is a ZED consultant, who spared the time from their busiest schedule to grace this occasion. Today we had an opportunity to hear all of your thoughts and your valuable presentation. And this will surely will be going to encourage us. And thank you so much. And my gratitude to all the delegates who have joined us today. And we are always there in our Guwahati office. So you're most welcome with your queries, any concerns, so we can be very helpful to you. And of course, I would like to also extend my thanks to my colleagues and my IT team who were there along with us during this entire virtual session. Thank you, everyone. With this, thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Bye bye. Good luck to all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.